Okay, my name is Maureen Malali Peketa, and my dog's name is Max, and we are a team through Pet Partners of Syracuse. Pet Partners of Syracuse is a community partner of Pet Partners, which is a national organization. Hey, come here, Max. Should have put you down first, huh? Come on, down. Down. Hey, come on. All right, fine. Sit there. Be that way. Yeah, mind of his own. Can I lay down now? Okay, good boy. Good boy. Good boy. So Pet Partners is a community partner of Pet Partners National. So because we're a national organization, your registration follows you across the country. So if you're a snowbird and you want to go to Florida in the wintertime, you can go there. You can set up a program there, do a program there, do a program here. If you move for any reason, your registration follows you. You're also covered by a $2 million liability policy wherever you visit. We do have a, hi, there's a packet right, no, you're fine. There's a packet right there if you want to join. Actually in the center. So you have a $2 million liability policy that follows you wherever you go. The restriction with that is that you can only visit for 2 hours at a time. Doesn't sound like a lot, but when you have your pet there being petted for 2 hours straight, it's a lot for an animal. So that's the only restriction. You can visit 7 days a week if you feel your pet can handle it. The beautiful thing about Pet Partners is we do not tell you where to visit. Wherever your passion lies, wherever you want to go, that's where you go. We don't schedule you, you schedule yourself. So, if you want to go someplace where there isn't a current animal visiting program, we will help you set it up, no problem. And I think in the packet on the front page it shows different places that we currently go to. So really it's wherever your passion lies. Max and I currently visit St. Joseph's Hospital. We also visit the VA hospital. And then we also go to schools, pre-K and up, with CUSE Pit Crew. And they go in and do early education, humane education, and bite prevention. So they'll go in, they'll do a class. Usually it's the second time they go. Max and I will go with them, and then they get to practice on Max and I. Ask us, if they can pet our dog, get my permission, get his permission, all that kind of stuff. And we really love it. It's just a phenomenal experience. So wherever your passion is, it's where you go. Nice. What's what? We don't limit you to any school district. You can go to any, you can go to, we don't limit you at all. Whatever school district you want to go to. No? You know what? Right. I am not sure, like from school to school. I know that we do have one team, Sue Gilberti, who is in the Syracuse School District. And I know that they have asked her to start a program. So it might be one of the first ones in the Syracuse School District. But we do have them all over, Oswego, Elmira, yep. And one thing that I've said is that read programs, we get far more requests than we can possibly fill for read teams. Schools all over the city, general area, want you to come in. You set up a program through their library, and then they select the students that come in and read to your dog. Or I guess I should ask, does everyone here have dogs or cats? Or I have dogs and cats, but mostly dogs here. Okay, so you would bring your dog into the library, and then they would select the students. Usually it's the students that have issues with reading, students that might have disabilities, students that are maybe learning a second language, English as a second language. We do animal-assisted therapy and animal-assisted activities. Animal-assisted therapy is with measured goals. So you're going to work with a medical professional or some kind of professional with like physical therapy or a psychologist with measured actual goals. Everything else is animal-assisted activities. We currently have a READ team that's actually doing animal-assisted therapy because they're working with a school psychologist, and they actually have goals that are measured after each session. But normally READ program would be just animal-assisted activities. We have currently 9 different species that we register as therapy teams. All of you have dogs. We have dogs, cats, mini horses, bunnies, guinea pigs, mini pigs, birds, alpacas, llamas, and rats. They can all be therapy pets. Yeah, yeah. And there are currently 2 registered therapy rats in the United States. Yes. Primarily cats and dogs. One of the magazines back there, if you want to take a look at it, actually has a handler that has alpacas that she brings them into schools. We have a team in Rochester that has miniature horses, and she brings them into adult daycare centers and schools. Yeah. Oh, awesome. Yeah. So there's a lot of different animals that can be therapy animals, other than just our dogs. Let's see. So yes, we have teams in Syracuse, Oswego, Alfred, Cortland, Potsdam, all over central New York. If you are a volunteer through Pet Partners, because we are a 501c organization, you cannot use your pet as a professional therapy pet. You can't be a therapist and bring your pet. It's volunteer-based only. Let's see. Again, if you'd like to go to the places that we have listed, fine. If not, we can help you set up a program. You have to follow whatever facility that you go to's policies and procedures for volunteering. You had said, one nursing home that they really don't have any policies and procedures. That's all well and fine. Francis House is kind of like that too. I've brought Max. Yeah, they really don't have any set procedures or things that you need to do to volunteer with your pet. St. Joseph's Hospital, you need a background check. You need an annual physical. You need your TB shot. You need your flu shot. There's an 86-question questionnaire that you have to fill out because you basically have to know everything that their employees know. How to evacuate people if there's an emergency, if there's different codes that they use over the intercom, what do they mean, that kind of stuff. And then they will send you that package annually, and you'll fill it out and just send it back to them to actually continue volunteering. And proof of your flu shot. VA hospital is pretty much the same. Gigi's Playhouse, we've gone there, and there really aren't any requirements per se there. One thing that when you become a team, you need to do a one-day handler training course. It's usually from about 9:30 to 4. And what we do is we teach you the policies and procedures of Pet Partners for visiting, cleanliness requirements, all those kinds of things. One of the things that we always suggest is record keeping. St. Joseph's Hospital, they have a sign-in. You go to the front desk, you sign in, all of their volunteers in and out. VA Hospital, there's no sign-in. I keep a log. I carry a log with me. I go in, I put down my time. When I go to leave, I have someone sign off on it. That really is just best practices. If there's a white dog there that bit somebody at 3 o'clock, and I can prove that we were left at 1:30, it clears us. And you always want to know that you're doing those kinds of things to cover your back and make sure that you're following those types of procedures. So those are the kinds of things that you're going to learn at the handler training course. After you do the handler training course, you do an evaluation. The handler training course, it's the one-day course that I was talking about. You'll do an evaluation. They're usually about a month after your handler training course. Some of the prerequisites for humans, you have to be from 10 years old up. We will accept you as a volunteer. 10 to 16, you have to be accompanied by an adult or a legal guardian. You're going to do the handler training course. You're going to do the evaluation. You'll always have your pet on a 6-foot leash. That's all that's allowed, and they're always in your control. You don't ever hand the leash off to anybody else. Everybody knows what their pets look like. When you walk away, sometimes they stress, all that kind of stuff. And that's part of what you learn in the handler training course too, is that, to read your pet's stress signals, that kind of stuff. Prerequisites for animals. You're going to get a vet release form. And basically, it's just your vet signing off on it saying that you've had a clean fecal sample in the last 6 months. Your pet's free of parasites, that kind of stuff. And that they're basically fit to be a therapy animal. Physical disabilities do not keep your pet from being a therapy pet. We have a team the dog is deaf. The handler is amazing. He works with hand signals completely. Amazing therapy dog. So, disabilities aren't a reason why you can't be a therapy team. Evaluation. At the very back of this packet, it shows the actual evaluation. The first half is just your dog's skills. And basically it comes down to the equivalent of like a Canine Good Citizen certificate. I don't know if you've heard of that or familiar with it. It's just basic commands: sit, down, say, come when called, leave it. That's pretty much it. So you'll go through different scenarios to do that. We'll have you walk through a crowd. So we'll have people walking on either sides of you. Just make sure you can walk with your dog and keep it under control. There'll be a distraction. We'll drop something, probably be about 10 feet away from us. We'll drop a book, something like that, just to see how your pet reacts. Doesn't mean if your pet reacts that you bail, anything like that. But the evaluation is actually to establish what qualification you should be. There's one-on-one. There's predictable. Max and I started out predictable. We reevaluated because we reevaluate every 2 years in Pet Partners. And now we're actually complex. So it's gauged to see what rating you should be. There'll also be, for cats, we don't have any cats. Walking through a crowd, I think I talked about that. Okay, part 2 is the aptitude. And that's really asking you to advocate for your pet. They want to know that if your pet's being handled clumsily, is it okay with your pet? Can you read the stress signals? If your pet's stressing, to intervene and say, you know what, Max really likes being petted right here. Someone might clumsily come up to your pet in the head, or someplace that is sensitive, just don't want them to. So they want to see that you're going to advocate for your pet and just redirect. And that's also part of the handler training, is that, they go over all that kind of stuff. We'll have somebody in a robe kind of doing a staggering walk past your dog, see how they react. Some dogs are a little fearful. Some dogs are perfectly fine. Like Max, nothing bothers Max. But if your dog's fearful, again, does it recover? Once they'll stop and ask to pet your dog. Does it recover? Does it kind of pull away? Again, doesn't mean that you fail, but it helps us evaluate. And again, how do you recover? How do you, handle your pet with that person? There'll be 2 people behind you talking loudly, kind of yelling a little bit, whatever. They want to see you interact with those people and go over and just say, excuse me, could you tell me where a room, whatever is, or whatever, and just see how your dog reacts. How do you handle your dog? How does your pet react? How do you react? They'll bump you from behind to crowded petting. What they'll do is they'll start off. Your pet will be in a sit or standing, and they'll come up one at a time, and we'll just keep adding one person, another, till there's like 4. Can your pet handle that many hands on them at one time? Max, again, can handle that. He loves it. More hands, the better. But some pets can't. So you want to advocate for your pet. You want to say, you know what, I think Max would be better off if you came up 1 at a time or 2 at a time. Again, they want you to be able to read your pet's stress signals and then advocate for them. Direct people. Tell them what they should be doing with your pet. That's one of Pet Partners' probably the strongest point that we always make. Your pet always, always, always comes first. The client comes second. Your pet always comes first. If your pet is not comfortable, if your pet is not happy, it doesn't make for a good visit for the client anyways. So you will always, always advocate for your pet first. This is really what the evaluation is about, seeing what your pet can handle, how you handle reading distress signals, and how you advocate for them. A lot of times what we'll do is, if you go to the handle training course, Sue will actually recommend you volunteer for an evaluation before you evaluate yourself. You get an opportunity to see what's the evaluation about, maybe some people's mistakes, strong points, things like that, it gives you an idea as to, well, how would I have handled that, So we do advocate that. You can do the training course online. We really suggest that you do it in person. We do role playing. We do all that kind of stuff. You don't bring your pet. You bring a stuffed animal. And then we want to see you advocate for your stuffed animal, okay? But it's great because I think you get so much more out of it than sitting in front of a computer, just reading through the text. This is actually my original Pet Partners tag. And it tells you qualification area, predictable. Then on the back, it also tells you the different one-on-one work only, all that kind of stuff. If you want to pass it around, you can kind of look at it. Are there any questions so far? Go ahead. The next training course right now is in October. But if we have enough interest, which is usually 6 or more people, we could probably do one in September. The training is at Southwood Firehouse. It's right off of 173, I think it is. So if you go to the top of Seneca Turnpike, take a right, keep going past Nob Hill, and it's right down the road. Yes, absolutely. You would get an email a month in advance just telling you all the information, everything that you need to do, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. The handler training course is a day. It's from 9:30 to usually about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. No. I'm just using that as an example, that it's like that basic obedience. Right. No. Right. Absolutely. Yep. Because you're with medically challenged people a lot of time, salmonella, things like that you could get could be transferred through a raw protein diet. Max used to get raw bones. Doesn't anymore. And no pet in your household can. About the raw protein diet, why you can't have a raw protein diet. Some people feed, raw meat, things like that, raw bones. As I said, Max used to get a raw bone before, but yes. Yeah. But because of medical issues like salmonella being transferred to medically fragile people, things like that, they do not allow a raw protein diet. Any other questions? Yeah. Usually 4 times. But again, if we get more interest, then we'll switch it up and we'll do it. Yes, absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. You pay for the evaluation. If you do not pass, it's good for up to a year to reevaluate. And we've had that situation. We just had a bad day, It happens. We have actually had husband and wife teams come in and evaluate with the same dog. One passes, one fails. One's having a good day, one's not. It's the same dog. Dog passed. So, you can evaluate up to a year after that. And then after you evaluate and pass, you have 90 days to submit your paperwork. If you do not submit it within 90 days, then you have to reevaluate. No. Oh, goodness, no. No. There's no age limits. There's no breed limits. We have pit bulls. No, not at all. As long as you're able, you're welcome. I said 10 years old and up. Yeah. because it's the national requirements for being a teen. Yeah, but that's good because you have experience and you know that your dog's fine doing that, so you should ace it. On us? Yep. And the little tag that's on it, Max has. Yes, it's the actual round tag. Yep. Yep. So it's required. You have your tag, and your dog has the tag. Mm-hmm. You know what? You can wear a vest. If you go to Pet Partners National, they sell all that stuff. When you evaluate and you pass, we give you a Pet Partners of Syracuse bandana, but you don't have to wear it. One thing that I will tell you is they do not allow costumes. So you can wear a bandana, but you can't wear a costume. You'd be surprised how many people want dogs in costumes. So, so if you wanted to go to the national website, they actually have vests that you can purchase. I believe so. It's just petpartners.org. www. Yep. Mm-hmm. And we're Pet Partners of Syracuse. We go to St. Joseph's Hospital once a month. We try and get to VA Hospital once a month. Q's Pit Crew is usually as they need. We're also going to have another opportunity coming up in the fall I'm very excited about. Golisano Hospital has contacted Helping Hounds Dog Rescue, which is where I got Max. A lot of our dogs are rescue dogs. They don't have to be, whatever. And they're going to be starting a bite prevention program through Golisano, going into schools. And they're going to start out with the young ones again and work their way up. But they're going to be looking for volunteers, and we'll be putting a list together for them of volunteers. Now, being on that list doesn't mean that you have to go every time or anything like that. It's just a list of people who may be available. If you've got something going on, you don't have to go. Someone else will probably be available. But it's just a list that you can be on that they will call you if you'd like to participate. Anything else?
Most of the dogs is mellow as
No.
Max.
No. Max is a hair shy of a coma, okay? Most dogs are not. No. Oh, no. No. Oh, no. This is, yes. No. We have all kinds of breeds. Max, I will tell you, is the most laid-back dog we have at Pet Partners, other than possibly Brody, who is an English Lab, and he's about 9 years old. So either Brody or Max will be part of the evaluation, because that's another part of the evaluation, is you walk past a neutral dog. So he's a neutral dog that we use, okay? Yeah, he strolls. He doesn't run, he strolls. So, yeah, most dogs are. No, what you want to do is you're going to walk by. The dogs are going to be on the outside. You're just going to kind of say, hi, who are you, and keep moving. We just want to see that your dog isn't going to lunge in front or lunge behind you. If perchance they do, Max did, they'll give you a second chance, so you can do it again. But, after 2 or 3 tries, if your dog can't do it, then, it doesn't mean that they fail. Again, it doesn't mean that they fail. It just means that, maybe you don't go to more high-activity places. Maybe you that kind of stuff. That's part of what they go over in the handler training course also is different facilities, the energy levels at different facilities, what you think your pet could handle. My cat, Riley, and I just recently evaluated, and we passed, and we are considered a complex team. I would not bring Riley to a complex setting. I'm talking about Francis House. It's very calm. It's very quiet. And I think that, particularly starting out, that he would do best there. And probably, that type of setting is what we will only do. So you have to know, what can your pet handle? Here's the thing. We are therapy dogs. We're not service dogs. So you cannot bring them into grocery stores or, those types of places. Max and I literally had to come in the back door I cannot walk out that door because they serve food. So that's a very good point. I'm very glad that you brought that up. We are therapy dogs, not service dogs. They will allow service dogs in. But what we usually suggest, take them to the dog stores. Any store that Home Depot, Lowe's, whomever, will allow dogs to go in. And then start training your dog to greet people calmly. Max, believe it or not, will drag me up to people if I don't make him stop, sit down, and let the person come to us. That's really... Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Right, you're interacting. Yep. Mhm. Yeah, exactly. Perfect example. Also, we are at Petco the first Thursday of every month, and the person who's there manning the table, one of the people, it's Brody, our neutral dog, but also Sue Gilberti, and she is the handler trainer. And you can do just a quick walk by with her. She'll help you look at different issues you might have, give you some tips on what maybe you should work on, or she thinks you do fine, that kind of stuff. So I brought Max there. I just wanted to know. So I brought him, and she gave me a few tips about walking through the store, greeting people, how to greet people. It's tough because there's dog food. So it's probably one of the toughest situations you can bring them into and keep control over them and their attention. We're usually there from 5:30 on, 5:30 to 7:30. The first Thursday of the month. So, yeah. So that's always, a good thing to do too. Just bring them in and. No. Because that's the last part. Right. So it's $20 a year to be a team through Pet Partners. That's the local organization. You pay your initial evaluation fee of $40, and then after that, you evaluate every 2 years for free. Your annual fee that you're paying covers that. So your handler training course, online it's $70, in person it's $85. That includes your lunch, refreshments, that kind of stuff. You evaluate. You pay $40 for the evaluation. That covers your first year of your membership with Pet Partners also. You go to submit your paperwork to National, and because you're a team through Pet Partners, a community partner, it's $50. It would be $95 if you weren't part of. Yes. 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 And then every 2 years when you reevaluate, the reevaluation is free, but you would pay the $50 to National. All right? No, you'll pay the $85 for your training. Then the day of the evaluation, you'll pay the $40, and then you have 90 days to submit your packet. And then with that, you will include your payment. And I actually, for both of my registrations, I've done it online. You just include like a JPEG picture of yourself with your pet. You can just give them your credit card information and email it to them. It's the easiest thing for me anyway. If you are looking to be a READ team, we are looking for READ teams. We have so many requests that go unanswered. READ teams and ARC, because they need people to come in during the daytime. ARC, that we do through Intermountain Therapy teams. READ is Reading Education Assistance Dogs. Intermountain Therapy Dogs is out of Utah. You get certified through them. And basically what it is, I have the book with me. You send away for the book. That's $40 plus $10 for shipping. Then you read it, fill out a test in the back, open book test, mail it back to them with all your information, Pet Partners information, because you do have to actually be a registered therapy team to order to be a READ team. And then they will send you your READ certification. That's a lifetime fee, the $40 plus $50, I'm sorry, a $50 fee. It's a lifetime fee. You don't ever pay again. Just every time you reevaluate with Pet Partners, you just send them, you'll get an email and your ID. It's just a book. It's a book. Here. You're already a therapy team. You become a certified read team. Right. So basically, they're just saying, read through the book, familiarize yourself with it. There's a, obviously an open book test in the back. You rip that out, you mail it in with your $50, and then they will grade your test and send you back your certification information. And then each time you reevaluate with Pet Partners, you want to let them know that you're a read team. It'll actually also be on your tag that you're a certified read team. We don't have any specific program, but there are places that you can go that do. And that's something that you would research and you would look into and see if they have a visiting pet program. If they don't, then we could help you set it up. A lot of times they just want background information on the organization, what are our policies and procedures for cleanliness, all those kinds of things. But yes, that's something that you could absolutely do, volunteering. It's something that I've looked at with Gigi's, because Gigi's Playhouse is for people who have Down syndrome and their families, and it's out at Drivers Village. And currently we go and we just do animal-assisted activities, events with the kids. I bring a brush so they can brush Max. It's motor skills, socialization skills, things like that. They'll brush Max. I have a short leash that'll hook on. You've always got to be in control, but they can take him for a walk too. Hand-eye coordination, all that kind of stuff that they can get from just playing with him. But I know that they also do tutoring there. So, and they've also had, they had a program that was specifically, and I just saw it a month or two ago, and it was the first time that they had it, that was specific to those things, motor skills, speech, all of that. So you could maybe contact them even and see if it's something that you could be involved in. Sure. And they may have their experts there, and you bring your pet and facilitate it. So you're facilitating it more than teaching it. Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. And that's also can be part of physical therapy too, is bringing a ball. Have someone sit at the opposite end of the room, throw the ball to your dog, have your dog get it. You do have to stay on the 6-foot leash, but the hand-eye coordination, all of that. Yeah, absolutely. Mhm. Okay. Okay. All right. Your pet. The minimum requirement is that your pet has to be a year old and has to be in your household for 6 months. Look at the evaluation. If you look at the evaluation, like I said, it's just a basic obedience. So whether you do it yourself or you bring your dog someplace. I brought Max to Blueprints, a dog studio, just to do basic, and it was to train me. Trust me. The dogs usually will do what you want them to do if you know how to direct them to do it. I needed to train me. So they can train you, any obedience school or class that you. I was going to say, I just brought my other dog, Emma, to PetSmart, and they were very good there too. In Marshall's Plaza right on here on Erie Boulevard. Okay. Yeah. So when I adopted Max, he was about about a year and a half old. But I had to wait till he was 2 because I had to have him in my home for 6 months. And that's just so that Your dog has an opportunity to get used to your home, get used to you, be bonded with you. You get to learn how to read their stress signals, what stresses them out, what doesn't, that kind of stuff. Any other? No? Yep. Mhm. Mhm. You would actually have to evaluate first. Yes. So you're going to do the training, then you're going to do the evaluation, and then the read. Yep. Mhm. Yes. Right. Right. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Usually it's younger. Um, Absolutely, and you can take a look at this book afterwards if you like. They've got sample certificates in the back that you can make for the kids, and a little sign saying, so and so is reading to Max. Max is being read to. Different cute things like that. We have a read team in Oswego that we actually through Pet Partners, you can do it through there or other agencies, but they have business cards, little trading cards for your pets. So your picture's on the front with their name, and then on the back just a little bio of your pet. And kids love that. And you think kids, we go to hospitals, adults, we leave them with adults. They love it. We leave them with the nursing station. So that if there's, someone who specifically needs a visit from a dog, how about this dog, or call us. We'll put our phone number on the back so they can call us. Mary and Mike actually do postcard size pictures, do seasonal ones for Halloween. You can't wear costumes, so they do Halloween themed ones, they do Christmas themed ones. They're awesome. They do a great job with that kind of stuff. So the sky's the limit. Where do you want to visit? What do you want to do? How do you want to set up your program? How do you want to promote it? Sure. Well, you'll be doing a training group. It'll be a group, so it'll be other people who want to train. You are more than welcome to come to our meetings, our just membership meetings. We have it right here in this room, September through May, every other month, and it's great because what we do is we talk and share about our visiting experiences. There are people who maybe have more experience or whatever that you might learn something from or have some ideas or tips. We do group type visits, and that Sue Pedrosa, she's out at our table right now. She's a co-president. She started a de-stressing event at Le Moyne College. She has college-age kids. She loves that age group. So now finals week in December and in May, I think it is, go, and we go into their library. We usually have 4 dogs, and then we have them signed up to different schedules. So we're rotating them in and out. And we have over 250 kids that show up. They take a number and they wait, and they'll wait hours. It's shocking. I think she now has just started a monthly visit. So now she's doing that monthly in the library. So it's kind of led to that. But you can come to the meetings, recruit other teams to help you out with that kind of stuff. I'm going to be doing that for the Golisano bite prevention thing. I'll be talking to people who wants to be involved. It might be one time. It might be just once in a while. We actually set up last Christmas for the first time. We joined up with the Salvation Army and Destiny. So Max and I went to Destiny, and we were standing there with a bell ringer. And if you've ever seen a group of stressed people the week before Christmas shopping, trust me, they were on the ground with Max, petting him, and just laying there with him, taking pictures, and going to the Salvation Army, donating and stuff like that. So that was just something that Sue Pedrosa came up with last year. Hey, what do you think? We talked about it at the meeting, and it's like, okay, give it a shot. See what Salvation Army thinks. Where they want us to do it. Huh, how many dogs do you have? Can we have one of that? We'll have one everywhere if you're willing to bring your dog. So anything that you can think of, bring along, talk about it, and recruit people. It's all about that, sharing. Bite prevention. Yes. They are seeing a huge rise in children coming into the hospital with dog bites. Shockingly, the statistic is 77% of dog bites the children sustain are from their own family pets or a neighbor's pet, someone they know. So what they are doing is they're teaming up with Helping House Dog Rescue to go in to schools, and I do this right now too with Q's Pit Crew, to teach proper touch, proper etiquette with dogs. If you see a dog, you ask the owner if you can pet your dog. If the owner says yes, you put your hand out. You let your dog smell your hand until your dog says yes. The appropriate petting zone. Don't ever go up over the head. Don't ever touch the head. Collar to tail. That's where you pet a dog. Don't ever pull on the tail. Don't ever go for the face. Your own pet, not just somebody else's too. And it actually, the program, it's really neat. They rolled out a video that shows a little girl from the time they got a dog to the time that they surrendered it because it bit their child. Everything that she did with the dog, dressed it up, did this, did that, the other thing. And then it goes back and it starts all over again from the dog's perspective. I've given you signals. I've shown you. I didn't like this. I didn't like it when you were in my face. I didn't like it when you dressed me up. I didn't, Yes. Yes. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. Yeah. So it's just early education. One really funny story. You never know what's going to come out of their mouths. We're the pre-K at Meacham School, and Stacy always introduces me as Max's mom. And I get up and I talk a little bit about what we do and that kind of stuff, and then she goes on and does the whole bite prevention stuff. We practice. At the end, they come, they sit down and pet Max. So there's a little girl, pre-K, sitting there. She's looking at Max, looking at me, back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. Finally, she looked at me and she said, "You had him?" Like, no! You had him? I said, no, I adopted him. Did not, no, 120-pound dog. I adopted him. Okay. Yes. Of course, that led to another conversation because she didn't understand what adopted was. It was a pre-K class, but it's like, if I wasn't sitting down on the ground, I probably would have fallen out of my chair. No, never. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. The kids are great. The teachers are great. So, yeah. Yep. Yeah. So we're starting young. That's the whole point. Starting at pre-K forward, starting young, and teaching them the appropriate way to interact with animals. So hopefully making a difference in their lives. Any other questions? Or no? All right. Well, thank you. I don't know if it's because it's finally being recorded, in the last 10, 20 years. If there's more dogs, I don't know. But, yeah. Why do they think this? And I don't. Right. Mhm. Mhm. Right. Right. Exactly. Oh yeah. Mhm. 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 Right. Right. And I'll tell you, and that's part of the training of advocating for your pets, your pet partners. There are children who want to ride Max. There are children that want to climb up on Max, and I have to educate them, and truly, their parents too, that you cannot ride Max. You cannot crawl on top of him. I had one woman look at me and say, "But he's a therapy dog." I said, "I don't care. How will your child distinguish between a therapy dog, even if it was okay for a therapy? It's not. But even if it was, how would your child distinguish between a therapy dog and an average dog when they're out in their yard playing, or any? There isn't any, So, right, exactly. Yes. Stop the 77. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming here. Really appreciate it. Thank you.